Now you're looking through jobs, you're making applications, and you come across a job that just doesn't make any sense. You see it's requiring 6 years of experience fresh out of university, or it's asking for 6 years of experience of a software that's only been around for 1 year. And then you think, well, this job doesn't seem real. And in most cases, it is, but let me tell you how these jobs are created and what this actually means and what's happening. So these are called unicorn jobs. Unicorn jobs are basically jobs that ask for way too much experience or way too much out of you that's just physically not possible. And why do they exist? How are they created? Well, it's important to know how job specs are actually created and why. Now, very rarely do you have one person in a company creating a singular job spec. You usually have 3, 4, even 5 people, sometimes many more. The bigger the company, the more decision makers there are. Now, decision makers could be CFOs, COOs, head of HR business partners, recruiters, or even just office managers who kind of think, wow, I need to kind of fill this role. And it's important to know that you can see the company's mentality by the job spec itself. So let me put you in the shoes of a company director or a group of people creating these job specs. Let's assume that when you put out a job advert, you're going to get 10, 15, 20,000 people applying. And then you think, okay, I'm not struggling with the shortage of applications. I'm getting people that are interested. I just want the best of the best. So I'm going to notch up all the experience points that I need. So I want all the experience. I want the perfect company culture fit. I want the person with the right personality. I want them to love this industry. I want them to love this company. So I'm going to just notch up everything because, hey, I'm getting 30,000 applications. So surely there's going to be 1 or 2 that I can select, which, if you think about it, it's logical, but it's also illogical at the same time because some people are just so out of touch of reality when it comes to creating job specs. They just assume that there's a plenty of applicants out there that are just going to make the application and one of them is going to win the lottery of that job. And jobs are becoming a bit of a lottery nowadays. And the reason you're watching these videos is because you're probably losing that lottery and it's not your fault. It's just the market. But unicorn jobs are the reason that the market saturation is also happening. And the market saturation is the reason that unicorn jobs exist. So you're seeing these jobs that just require way too much. It's just not feasible for you to actually fit the bill of what they're looking for. So most of you don't even apply, or you do apply and then you think, okay, I'm probably not going to get called back, and then you get an auto rejection and then you think there's no way I can have that experience. And you're not wrong, but you're also not right to a degree, because these companies are so used to getting so many applicants that they're just looking for something that's unfeasible, hoping that they get it. And the way that you need to fix this issue for yourself is to just become more known. Now, you should still apply to these jobs. Yes, if they're looking for 5 years of experience and you have 1 year, still apply. If you see a job advert and you fit 20% of that job advert, you should apply to that job. Because these companies are so out of touch with the experience point, and they're probably not considering the company culture fit, or they are, but they're not just voicing it in the job spec. You might be the perfect fit from a company culture perspective. You might have the right soft skills that make sure that you're the right fit when it comes to joining the team. So rather than just applying, and still do apply to these jobs, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you not to, but rather than just applying, reach out to the people that have created that job spec. Now, how do you find them? LinkedIn. LinkedIn is your best tool. Use LinkedIn, find the head of HR. That's a good place to begin. Find the CFO, find the HR business partner, and ask intelligent questions. Do not ask the question like, hey, what's the day-to-day like? That doesn't go well. Asking questions like, when writing this job spec, what's the focus on company culture as opposed to the experience? Would you consider someone with less experience if the soft skills were the right fit? When it comes to international job seekers, offering sponsorship, would there be a specific concession? You have to ask questions. The more questions you ask, the more chances, and obviously the more intelligent the question, the more chances you'll have of getting a reply. And the better a reply, the more likely you can actually get a meeting. And the more meetings you get, the more likely you can get recommended into interviews. So rather than seeing these jobs that are asking for way too much, rather than being scared about applying, use that as a challenge to know, okay, there's more than one decision maker. They're probably looking for a few things that they haven't voiced in the job spec, and I'm going to find out what they are. Because most of these job specs, they also know once they read it, okay, well, we're being a little bit fantastical about what we're looking for, but who knows? We might get someone who's a great fit for the team, whatever that means. And it's up to you to find out what that means. So the more questions you have, the more inquisitive you are, the better it will be. So the next time you see one of these unicorn jobs, apply, but connect to people who have decision-making ability. Use LinkedIn and reach out to me. I'll leave my description in the description point. You can apply to work with me. You can follow me on LinkedIn. And if there's anything you need, let me know. Write it in the comments, any questions. And also, last but not least, like and subscribe. It costs you nothing, makes my day, and it builds the confidence for me to keep building these videos for you. I'll see you on the next one.